single off of that album, Love Will Keep Us Alive, would be their first number one since 1979 for the Eagles. 7 o'clock, we'll turn things over to news now at the top of the hour on this Tuesday, April 25th, 2023. News, funeral notices, weather, sports, birthday and anniversary club, lunch menus, and history all in the next 45 minutes on KLTF, Little Falls. 7 o'clock, we'll start things off with SRN News.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. President Biden today kicked off his bid for a second term in the White House. In a video announcement, he makes a case to finish the job he started. Part of his strategy is painting Republicans as too extreme. In the video, he attacks them on fiscal policy and doubles down on abortion access and same-sex marriage.
Cutting Social Security that you paid for your entire life while cutting taxes for the very wealthy, dictating what health care decisions women can make, banning books, and telling people who they can love.
Recent polls show that most Americans are concerned about Mr. Biden's age. What's the reaction from former President Trump, who's also running in 2024? In a statement, he said you could take the 5 worst presidents in American history and put them together, and they would not have done the damage Joe Biden has done to our nation. Officials berated Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov at a United Nations meeting.
UN Chief Antonio Guterres and representatives from Western nations hit out at Russia's Lavrov as he chaired a meeting on Monday, accusing Moscow of violating the UN Charter by attacking Ukraine and occupying part of its territory. Lavrov responded by defending his country's military action and accusing the US and its allies of undercutting global democracy. Guterres said tensions between major powers are at a historic high, and so are the risks of conflict through misadventure or miscalculation, he said, pointing to the war in Ukraine. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Britain's Foreign Secretary James Cleverly says that an operation to evacuate British citizens from Sudan is beginning after a ceasefire agreement between the African nation's rival generals has been agreed to. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Inflation is pushing up the cost of just about everything: food, gas, clothing. But life insurance, which thanks to inflation you need now more than ever, actually costs less today than it did a few years ago. Now is the time to get the insurance you need at a price you can afford. Call SelectQuote now and we'll help you save more than 50% on term life insurance. In a hurry? Don't worry. With SelectQuote, you can get up to $2 million in instant, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's right. Get up to $2 million in instant, affordable same-day coverage with no medical exam in under an hour.
Call SelectQuote now at 1-800-507-2266. That's 1-800-507-2266. Or go to SelectQuote.com now and get up to $2 million in instant same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's 1-800-507-2266. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Day.
Apple has won the right to maintain its exclusive control over the distribution of its iPhone apps.
An appeals court has rejected the latest effort to force Apple to dismantle its digital wall that protects its most valuable products. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals agreed with the lower court judge, who ruled against Epic Games, the maker of Fortnite. Epic sued in 2021, alleging Apple had an illegal monopoly with its App Store. The appellate court, though, did cite some errors in the lower court's findings, which could be grounds for further appeal. Epic Games tried to offer Fortnite outside of the App Store to avoid paying developer fees, but Apple, citing security, kicked them out. I'm Jackie Quinn.
The tech-heavy NASDAQ drifted lower yesterday, dropping 35 points. The Dow also closed lower. News and analysis at townhall.com. Despite opposition, Alabama and Mississippi continue to mark Confederate Memorial Day.
Alabama and Mississippi closed most government offices Monday for Confederate Memorial Day. Efforts have stalled to abolish state holidays that honor the old Confederacy. Legislation has been introduced in the ongoing Alabama legislative session to remove, alter, or rename Confederate-related holidays, but the effort so far has gained little traction. I'm Norman Hall.
Two controversial TV hosts are no longer on the air. Fox News Channel and Tucker Carlson have parted ways, even though he hosted the network's most popular show. And Don Lemon is no longer on CNN's morning program after being fired yesterday. NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers is reportedly heading to the New York Jets. Rodgers was a four-time MVP during his 18 years with the Green Bay Packers. More at townhall.com.
The local news on AM 960 KLTF is sponsored by Horizon Health.
Horizon Health offers assisted living options in Motley, Pierce, Brainerd, and Harding. Our Harmony houses are unique because all Horizon Health employees are trained and have tools to provide individualized care for those with memory challenges. Harding Place is an assisted living residence for gentlemen, of which most are veterans. We know it's not easy to transition loved ones to assisted living, but the caregivers at Horizon Health are experienced in making it as positive as possible. I'm Lola with Horizon Health, and we can't wait to be your support.
7:06 at AM 960 KLTF. 27 degrees, calm winds, clear skies. Tuesday, April 25th, 2023. Sunny today and 48, clear tonight and 28. Clouds increase tomorrow, 55. Rain tomorrow night with a low down to 38 and breezy. Showers on Thursday in the early morning, then sunny, high of 60. And then some more rain late Thursday night with a low of 40. Showers likely on Friday, high of 48. Rain could mix with wet snow late Friday night, a low of 30. Showers Saturday, 50 and 35. Showers Sunday, 42 and 30. And again, Sunday night into Monday, rain could mix with a bit of wet snow. Gusty winds as we head into next week, but we're going to start off May about 20 degrees below average with highs in the 40s, lows in the 30s as we head into next week. 27 now at KLTF. We did receive a notice from Pillager Public Schools that yesterday morning parents and guardians were informed that they did dismiss students at 1 p.m. on Monday. That was due to a threat earlier this week, on Monday afternoon. Now, yesterday school was back in session, and today school will be back in session. But the Cass County Sheriff's Office did send out a statement that there was no elaborate threat to the school after they had to dismiss students early on Monday. They say again yesterday afternoon. Now today again school will be on time, but they are just reminding those again in the Pillager area that they are investigating, and you may notice a bit of an uptick from sheriff's offices and police on the premises today as they continue to work on this. They believe again that the threat was not an elaborate threat, and again they say that it was considered what they said was determined not to be credible. School is on time today in Pillager. But again, they say recently social media and other items can definitely cause major anxiety and stress for those and their children. Pillager Public School do take all of these items and the safety of their students first, and that is the reason why they dismissed classes early yesterday. There was no after-school or evening activities yesterday in Pillager. But again, school is resuming at their regular time today in the Pillager School District. They are investigating still the threat that they say was not a credible one. Authorities have released the name of the St. Cloud man killed in a hit-and-run Friday night and the 16-year-old who has now been charged with second-degree murder. St. Cloud police say 70-year-old Norbert Olmscheid was hit by a vehicle while walking on a walking path Friday night around 8 o'clock in St. Cloud. He was taken to the hospital and later died. 16-year-old boy was taken into custody. Authorities stated late yesterday that the Stearns County Attorney's Office has filed murder charges against 16-year-old Israel Madimba of Sauk Rapids. Preliminary charges also is a first-degree premeditated murder charge, but they would need a grand jury to determine whether that first-degree murder charge is warranted. They say that Mendiba will be charged as an adult and currently now faces second-degree murder with intent. He was found with reportedly, according to his report, found some keys in a locker at the St. Cloud YMCA, stole a car, and then allegedly told authorities after seeing the victim walking on a path, decided to run him over. Records show Mendiba drove up onto the path and was driving slowly behind Olmscheid, then accelerated and struck him. He has now been charged with second-degree murder. A holding Ford man has been charged with changed his plea to guilty, just ahead of his criminal sexual conduct trial. 50-year-old Eugene Lara has been accused of abusing 2 young girls for years and recently has changed his plea to guilty. He will be sentenced in the weeks ahead. Recently, the Morrison County Commissioners, and we did talk to Matt LeBlanc here on KLTF a little over a week ago, had mentioned that at the recent county board meeting, they have now decided to go with the referendum vote that will take place coming up later this year. Recent county commissioners announced that, again, they were told by the board and the administrator that the current interim auditor treasurer, who had held that position since September 2022, has been asked to be allowed to step down and will resume the role as a deputy auditor treasurer. In February, the board voted to take the previously elected position, one that would then be appointed. However, a petition among county voters received enough signatures to reverse that decision. So the board announced that, again, there would be a vote via referendum on the November 2024 ballot. LeBlanc asked for approval from the board to post the job description for an interim auditor-treasurer as a position that will be potentially termed through 2026, depending on the results of the 2024 referendum. If the county residents vote to leave it as an elected position, then the next auditor-treasurer vote would be on November of 2026. If they vote to make it appointed by the county board, then the person hired as the interim could likelihood take over as the full-time auditor-treasurer. But again, the board had yet announced that there would be the referendum vote on the November 2024 ballot, but at this time they are posting a description for an interim auditor-treasurer in Morrison County.